The screech of tires was the last thing I remembered from my old life. A split-second blur of rain-slicked asphalt and headlights bearing down like the judgment I'd always feared. I woke up gasping in a body that wasn't mine, staring at a ceiling plastered with faded posters of football heroes and a mirror reflecting a stranger's face. Sharp jaw, messy dark curls, and eyes wide with the terror of someone who just turned 17 all over again. "Faggot?" A voice snarled from the hallway outside my door. Not at me yet, but close enough to make my new heart hammer. Welcome to Elmwood High, where second chances came laced with venom. I didn't know how or why I'd landed here, in this dusty corner of rural Ohio, but the rules were clear from the jump. Keep your head down, blend in, survive. My name was now Alex Rivera, transfer kid from some vague family move that the school counselor bought without a blink. The air smelled like fresh-cut grass and regret, the kind that clung to small-town America like humidity in July. First period English, and already the whispers started. New guy with the city haircut, the soft voice that didn't quite match the flannel I'd thrown on to hide. I slid into a desk at the back, notebook open like a shield, but Mr. Hargrove's voice boomed over the room. "Class, meet Alex. Treat him like one of us. One of us." As if that eraser hurled at my head from the jock in the third row was a handshake. By lunch, the cafeteria felt like a gladiator pit. Trays clattered, laughter barked like warning shots, and I grabbed a corner table alone, poking at mystery meat that tasted like chalk. That's when he sat down. Uninvited, tray slamming with the confidence of someone who owned the room. "You're the new blood," he said, not a question. His green eyes locking on mine like he could see the ghost of my old self flickering underneath. Jake Harlan, quarterback, All-American poster boy with sun-bleached hair, and a smile that hit like summer lightning. "Heard you like debate club. Coach says you're on the team. Don't let these assholes eat you alive." His knee brushed mine under the table. Accidental, maybe, and I froze, heat crawling up my neck. In my last life, I'd learned to spot allies from miles away. This guy? He was either a savior or the storm before the fall. Debate club met after school in a stuffy annex off the gym. The kind of room where fluorescent lights buzzed like angry hornets, and the chalk dust hung in the air like unspoken accusations. I showed up early, palms sweaty, rehearsing my intro speech in my head. Something neutral about policy reform, nothing personal. The door creaked open, and in filed the team. 6 kids, a mix of overachievers and misfits, all eyeing me like I'd crashed their secret society. Coach Ellis, a wiry woman with glasses perched on her nose like binoculars, clapped her hands. "Alex, you're with Jake for regionals. Current events topic: equality in education. Make it count." Jake slid into the seat next to mine, his shoulder bumping mine in that casual way straight guys do without thinking, or so I told myself. Up close, he smelled like pine soap and fresh laundry, the kind of clean that made you want to lean in. "Don't sweat it," he murmured, flipping open his notes. "We'll crush him. You got that fire in your eyes." "Fire?" I swallowed hard, glancing at the others. Sarah, the sharp-tongued valedictorian hopeful. Tim, the quiet stats whiz, and then the trio in the back. Brandon, Mike, and Derek, the football overlap with jaws set like they were scouting for weaknesses. Elmwood High wasn't just discriminatory. It was a pressure cooker where queers like me, wait, was I queer in this life too? The dreams from my old body said yes. Got boiled down to rumors before they even simmered. Practice kicked off with rounds, and I held my own, arguing for inclusive curricula with facts I'd Googled on the cracked library computer that morning. Jake backed me up seamlessly, his voice steady and deep, weaving in stats on dropout rates for marginalized kids like it was personal. When I faltered on a rebuttal, he jumped in. "Alex is right. Data shows diverse perspectives boost critical thinking by 30%. Deny that, and you're denying progress." The room nodded, even Brandon grudgingly. Afterward, as we packed up, Jake lingered. "You're good, man. Better than good. Walk you to your bus." The parking lot was a sea of rusted pickups and cheerleader giggles under the sodium lamps. We talked easy, him about the pressure of carrying the team to state, me dodging questions about back home. His laugh rumbled low when I cracked a joke about debate being verbal cage fighting. At the bus stop, he clapped my shoulder, thumb lingering a beat too long. See you tomorrow, partner. Partner. The word echoed as the bus lurched away, leaving me staring at the darkening fields, heart pounding with a mix of thrill and dread. In my old life, touches like that ended in fists or faded friendships. Here, maybe it was different, but Elmwood had other plans. Wednesday morning, lockers slammed like thunder as I approached mine. Slurs scrawled in marker, "Fairy freshman," with a limp wrist doodle. Laughter erupted from the jock cluster. Brandon and his crew, faces twisted in that fake bravado masking their own insecurities. I froze, backpack slipping from my grip, the world narrowing to the red ink bleeding into the metal. Footsteps pounded, and then Jake was there, shoulder-checking Brandon hard enough to send him stumbling. "What the hell, Harlan? It's just a joke." Brandon spat, rubbing his arm. Jake's voice was ice. "Joke's on you if you think that's funny. Touch his stuff again, and you're benched." The hallway hushed, eyes darting like spotlights. He grabbed my elbow, gentle, electric, and steered me away, whispering, "Ignore 'em. They're idiots." In the bathroom, he handed me a damp paper towel, our fingers brushing as he helped wipe the marker. Up close, his concern was a force field, green eyes searching mine. "You okay?" I nodded, throat tight, the vulnerability cracking something open inside me. "Yeah, thanks, Jake. Really." He smiled, that lightning again. "Anytime. Teammates stick together." Word spread like wildfire. By lunch, the cafeteria buzzed with it, Harlan defending the new queer kid. I caught snippets. "What's his deal? Bet he's trying to score pity points." But Jake? He pulled me to his table, right in the lion's den, introducing me to his crew like I belonged. Sarah slid over, smirking. "Heard you two make a killer duo. Regionals are gonna be lit." For the first time since waking up in this skin, I breathed easy, Jake's presence a shield against the stairs. Practice that afternoon blurred into strategy sessions. Jake and I huddled over laptops in the annex, our knees knocking under the table. He opened up, his dad a stern mill worker who drilled toughen up into him since Pee Wee League. His mom gone too early to cancer, leaving ghosts in the Harlan house. "Sometimes I wonder if I'm playing for them or me," he admitted, voice low. I shared bits of my old life, vague tales of city chaos, hiding who I was to fit in. His hand found mine under the desk, squeezing once. "Screw fitting in. Be you. I'll have your back." The air thickened, charged, but we pulled apart when coach called time. Walking to the bus, he bumped my shoulder. "Pizza Friday? Team tradition. My treat." I grinned, the invite warming me against the chill wind. Wouldn't miss it. Friday came with a bite. Brandon cornered me in the hall, breath hot with energy drink. "Harlan's slumming it with you? Pathetic." He shoved my shoulder, hard enough to sting. But before I could react, Jake materialized, towering. "Back off, Bran, or I tell coach about your chem grades." Brandon slunk away, muttering, but the seed was planted. Jake's protection came at a cost. Pizza at Gino's was rowdy, greasy slices, bad jokes, Tim geeking out over debate stats. Jake sat beside me, thigh pressed warm against mine, his laugh pulling me in deeper. As the night wound down, he walked me out, stars sharp overhead. "Hey, Alex, this feels right. You feel it?" His voice cracked, vulnerable. I met his gaze, heart slamming. "Yeah, I do." Our hands brushed, fingers lacing tentative, the world fading to just us. Until headlights swept the lot, his truck pulling up. "Night," he whispered, but the promise hung heavy. That weekend, alone in my aunt's creaky rental, my family a distant echo. I replayed it all. The reincarnation a cruel joke or cosmic gift. Jake's touch lingered like a brand. Monday brought storm clouds, literal and not. Practice and coach announced regionals in 2 weeks. Alex and Jake versus Lincoln High. Bring your A game. Excitement buzzed, but undercurrents pulled. After Jake pulled me aside. "Wanna study at my place? Dad's on shift." My pulse raced. Sure. His house was all wood paneling and faded glory, football trophies gleaming on shelves. We spread notes on the kitchen table, but talk veered personal. "Ever feel like you're not enough?" he asked, eyes distant. I reached across, hand on his. "Every day. But with you, I am." He turned my palm up, thumb tracing circles. The kiss happened slow, hesitant, then hungry, his lips soft and urgent against mine. Fireworks behind my eyes, his hands in my hair, pulling me close. We broke apart breathless, foreheads touching. "This, us," he murmured. "It's real." In that moment, Elmwood's shadows receded. But dawn brings reckoning, and Monday's whispers were just the prelude. The kiss replayed in my head like a forbidden reel, every frame etched with Jake's taste, salt and sweetness, the press of his body molding to mine. School on Monday was a minefield I navigated half-blind, floating on that high while dodging the landmines. Hallways buzzed with the usual undercurrent, but now laced with speculation. Glances at Jake and me, longer than before, laced with knowing smirks. I kept my eyes down, focusing on the squeak of sneakers on linoleum, the metallic tang of lockers. Debate practice was our sanctuary, but even there, cracks showed. Sarah pulled me aside post-rounds, her voice a urgent whisper. "Be careful, Alex. Brandon's been talking trash. Says Jake's gone soft defending you." My stomach nodded. "It's nothing. Jake can handle it." She squeezed my arm, eyes soft. "Just watch your back. This town's got teeth." Jake felt it too, the shift like the air pressure dropping before a twister. At lunch, he scooted closer, our knees locking under the table, a secret anchor. "Ignore the noise," he said, stealing a fry from my tray, his grin boyish. "We're solid." But his eyes flicked to Brandon across the room, jaw tightening. That afternoon, as we walked to the annex, Mike, Brandon's shadow, shoulder-checked me hard into the wall. "Watch it, princess." Pain bloomed in my ribs, but Jake was there in a flash, grabbing Mike's collar. "Touch him again, and you're done." Coach Ellis broke it up, hurting us inside with a stern, "Focus on the win, boys." Inside, the tension simmered. Our practice debate was electric. Me arguing for anti-bullying mandates, Jake countering with enforcement challenges, our chemistry sparking rebuttals that left the team clapping. But when eyes turned away, his hand found mine under the table, thumbs stroking my knuckles. "You're killing it," he breathed. "We are." Evenings blurred into stolen hours. Study sessions at his place turning into make-out marathons on the worn couch, his dad's recliner a silent witness. Jake was a revelation, gentle explorer, mapping my skin with whispers of, "God, Alex, you're everything." No rush, just us, hearts sinking in the quiet. He'd talk dreams, escaping Elmwood for college ball at Ohio State, but now with us in the picture. "We'll get out together," he'd say, fingers tangled in mine. I believed him. This boy who'd pulled me from the edge, his protection a lifeline in a sea of slurs. My old life's regrets, hiding, losing, faded. Here, I was seen, but betrayal bruised in the blind spots. Tuesday, I found a note in my locker. "Harlan's using you. Ask why he bailed on his ex." And signed, but the handwriting matched Mike's scrawl from chem class. Doubt wormed in, cold and insistent. Practice, Jake seemed off, distracted, checking his phone. "Dad's stuff." He waved it off when I asked. We prepped for regionals, scripting our opener on educational equity. His voice steady but eyes shadowed. After, he begged off our usual walk. "Gotta hit the field." Rain check. The bus ride home was agony. The note crumpled in my fist. Was it true? That night, texts pinged. "Miss you already. Tomorrow?" I typed back hearts, but sleep evaded. Reincarnation's gift feeling like a curse. Wednesday cracked open the fault lines. Morning assembly in the gym, pep rally for the football playoffs. Banners waving, crowd stomping. Jake was center stage, mic in hand, hyping the team with that quarterback charm. "Bulldogs forever." The roar shook the bleachers, but as eyes scanned the crowd, they landed on me in the back row. Whispers rippled. Then Brandon, from the sidelines, yelled over the din, "Hey Harlan, save some of that fire for your debate boyfriend." Laughter erupted, crude and cutting, the gym an echo chamber of cruelty. Jake's face paled, mic trembling. "Shut it, Brandon." But the damage was done. Stares bored into me like drills. I bolted, heart hammering, out into the crisp air, lungs burning. Jake found me by the bleachers, alone with the chain link fence rattling in the wind. "Alex, wait!" He grabbed my arm, spinning me. Tears stung my eyes, hot and unbidden. "Is it true? About your ex? That you bailed because of this?" I waved between us, voice breaking. He recoiled, hurt flashing. "What? No, God, no." Tyler was toxic, pressuring me to come out before I was ready. I ended it clean. "Alex, you're different. Real." His hands cupped my face, thumbs wiping tears. "I meant what I said. We're in this." The kiss was desperate, sealing promises against the autumn chill. But as we pulled apart, his phone buzzed, "Dad." Again. "I gotta go. Trust me." I nodded, but the seed sprouted thorns. Regionals loomed, and we threw ourselves in, arguments sharpening like blades. Coach paired us for mocks, our synergy a force. Me weaving emotional appeals on discrimination's toll, Jake grounding with policy fixes. The team noticed. Even Tim high-fived me post-win. "You two are unstoppable." Stolen moments multiplied. Quick kisses in the annex closet, his hands slipping into my back pocket during walks. "Love how you fight," he'd murmur, nuzzling my neck. "Love." The word hovered, unspoken but heavy. My aunt, distant, harried, finally noticed my glow. "That Harlan boy? He's trouble, Alex. Small towns eat dreamers." I brushed it off, but her words echoed the note's poison. Friday's pizza was tense. Brandon's crew boycotted, but Jake pulled me closer, arm around my chair. "Screw him." Laughter flowed, but undercurrents pulled. Later, at his place, we escalated, clothes shedding slow, his body a landscape of freckles and strength, mine tentative under his gaze. "Beautiful," he breathed, tracing scars from my old life's hidden battles. We moved careful, reverent, cresting together in whispers of forever. Afterward, tangled in sheets, he confessed, "Dad knows something's up. Found my phone, saw texts. He's not okay." My heart sank. "We can talk to him." Jake shook his head. "Not yet. Regionals first. Prove we're worth it." But proof came costly. Saturday scrimmage, football field mudslick under gray skies. I watched from the sidelines, cheering as Jake dodged tackles, a warrior in pads. Then a hit vicious late from Brandon crumpling Jake. Whistles blew, medics rushed. Ribs cracked, they said. Hospital smelled of antiseptic and fear. I paced the waiting room, Aunt dropping me off with a worried frown. Jake emerged bandaged, pale but smiling. "Just bruises." But Bran, he's off the team. Elation mixed with dread. "You did that." He nodded. "For us." In the dim room, our fingers linked. "I love you, Alex." The words unlocked me. "Love you too." But outside, shadows lengthened. Dad Harlan's truck idling, eyes hard through the window. The storm was here. Love. It settled in my bones like Ohio frost, sharp and unyielding, turning every glance from Jake into a sparkler trail. But Elmwood High didn't do sparks. It stamped them out with steel-toed boots. Monday post-hospital. The halls thrummed with fallout. Brandon suspended, whispers of Harlan's fairy influence, slithering like smoke. Jake returned to school limping, arm in a sling, but his chin up, green eyes defiant as he claimed the locker beside mine. "Morning, partner," he said, bumping my hip, voice pitched for the audience. I grinned, but inside, gears ground. His dad's glare at pickup yesterday lingered, a promise of thunderheads. Debate practice was our war room, maps of arguments pinned to the corkboard. Equity clauses, anti-discrimination riders, each bullet a shield. Coach Ellis paced, stopwatch ticking. Lincoln's brutal, facts only, no fluff. Jake and I tag-teamed, my passion for personal stories tempered by his tactical precision. Imagine a kid like Alex, I'd say voice steady, silenced before speaking. Jake followed, policy fixes that, mandatory training, zero tolerance. The team leaned in, Sarah nodding fierce. That's gold. But post-practice, alone in the annex, Jake sagged against me. Dad's on a rampage. Thinks I'm throwing away my future for distractions. His fingers traced my jaw, apologetic. Give me time. I kissed his palm. We have time. Time lied. That night, texts from Jake. Dinner's tense. Love you. See you tomorrow. I crashed at my aunt's, staring at the ceiling fan's lazy spin. Reincarnation's irony bitter. Reborn to fight the same wars. Tuesday assembly sealed the fracture. Principal Whitaker, red-faced under the gym lights, addressed team unity post-Brandon's suspension. No room for division. Focus on wins. But his eyes flicked to Jake and me, pointed. The crowd shifted, murmurs rising. Jake squeezed my hand in the bleachers, hidden, but electric. Afterward, in the lot, his dad waited. Burly, mustache twitching, eyes like chipped flint. Harlan, truck, now. Jake stiffened. Alex, go. But I lingered, catching fragments. That boy's poison. Real men don't. The slam of the door echoed like a gavel. School fractured after. Jake ghosted. Texts unread. Practice skipped with a family emergency note. Panic clawed my chest. I cornered Sarah at lunch. What's happening? She bit her lip. His dad's pulling strings. Coach benched him for attitude. Rumors say you're why. My tray clattered. That's bullshit. Tim slid over, voice low. Brand's back, whispering. Says Jake's faking injury to bail on you. The note from last week resurfaced, venomous. Betrayal? Or just Elmwood's grindstone? I texted Jake. Talk to me. Please. Crickets. Evening found me at the field. Empty under sodium glow. Kicking gravel. Headlights pierced his truck. He hopped out, face haggard. Alex, God. I'm sorry. We collided. His sling awkward between us. Kiss frantic. Dad found out. About us. Went nuclear, threatened to yank my scholarship. My world tilted. What now? He cupped my face. Fight. Regionals without me, but I'll be there. Cheering. He was true to it. Front row at the prelims in Columbus 2 days later, sling and all, grinning like a beacon as I faced Lincoln solo. Nerves jangled, stage lights hot, but his eyes anchored me. I poured it out. Stats on LGBTQ plus dropout rates, stories veiled as hypotheticals of kids crushed by silence. The judges leaned in. Applause thundered. Backstage, Jake swept me up one-armed. You slayed. Hotel room. Team crash pad. He snuck in after curfew. Our reunion a tangle of limbs and reassurances. He's coming around. Jake lied, but his hold said otherwise. Dawn brought victory. We advanced. Elation soured on the bus home. Texts from Anonymous. Harlan's dad knows. Watch your back. Climax brewed midweek. Football playoffs opener. Stadium packed with Elmwood faithful. Bonfires crackling beyond the fences. Jake started. Sling off, arm taped but fierce. I watched from the bleachers, heart in throat, as he dodged and threw, a comet in pads. Halftime, tied, and the cheer swelled. Then chaos. Brandon. Reinstated? On the field? No, a sideline scuffle, him shoving Jake post-play. Traitor. Words carried on wind. Fists flew. Refs swarmed. Ejected, Brandon spat toward the stands. Toward me. Jake's eyes met mine across the turf. Apology raw. Game ended in win, but locker room rumors exploded. Harlan's lifestyle, tanking the team. That night, Jake's call came at midnight, voice wrecked. Dad pulled me aside. Says if I don't end it with you, no more house. No scholarship. Silence stretched, a chasm. Jake, I can't lose you, but I can't lose everything. The line crackled. What are you saying? Sobs choked him. Space. Just space. For now. Click. The betrayal landed like a gut punch. sharper than any slur. I curled on my bed, tears soaking the pillow, old life's echoes mocking. Love always ends in exile. Reincarnation's gift? A sharper knife. Thursday was hell. Jake absent, hall's a gauntlet of stairs. Practice, I argued alone, voice hollow, coach's pity palpable. He'll be back. Sarah hugged me post-round. This town's poison. You deserve better. Evening. I wandered the tracks behind the mill, rails humming underfoot, contemplating the void. Footsteps crunched. Jake, shadows under his eyes. Couldn't stay away. We sank to the gravel, his head on my shoulder. Dad's bluffing, but it hurts. I held him, whispering truths. We define us, not them. Dawn found us there, fingers laced, resolve hardening. But Elmwood's jaws snapped tighter. Friday's assembly. Whitaker's voice booming. Counseling for unity issues. Code for us. The crowd parted as Jake and I entered together. Hands hidden but united. Gasps rippled. His squeeze. Together. The storm peaked at regionals finals. Columbus Arena humming with stakes. Jake benched by coach, pressure from above, but there, ringside, his presence steel. I faced the Lincoln duo. Topic. Resolved. Schools must protect minority voices. Heart pounding. I unleashed. Personal now veiled. I've walked halls where difference is a target, but protection? It's a teammate standing firm. A hand in the dark. Tears threatened. Jake's nod fueled me. Rebuttal crushed, we won, trophy heavy in my arms. Backstage, he rushed the curtain, lifting me despite his ribs. My hero. The kiss sealed it. Public for once. Flashes popping from stunned teammates. But victory's afterglow shattered on route home. Bus swerved. Dear? Brake failure. Tires screaming, world flipping. Glass shattered, screams merged. I woke in wreckage. Pain a white roar. Jake's hand limp in mine. Hospital again. His concussion severe, my leg fractured. And hovered, face ashen. Miracle you're both here. But the real blow, his dad at bedside, voice low. This ends, son. Or you're out. Jake's eyes met mine. Fractured but fierce. No, Dad. This is my future. The room exploded. Yells, tears, nurses intervening. I blacked out to the chaos. Love's cost tallied in bruises. Waking to beeps and bleach scent. Jake's face swam into focus. Pale, stitched above his brow, but smiling faint. Hey, champ. His hand found mine for lines tangling like our lives. Nurses bustled, ant-wringing hands in the corner. But the world narrowed to us. This sterile bubble holding back the flood. Regionals, I croaked. He chuckled, wincing. You won. We're legends. Legend. In Elmwood, legends got lynched. Doctors confirmed. My leg in a cast 6 weeks, his head monitored overnight. Stay, he whispered as they wheeled me to recovery. I squeezed back. Always. Discharge brought reckoning. Aunt drove us home in tense silence. Radio droning country twang about lost loves. Jake's truck trailed, his dad at wheel, jaw set, no waves. My rental loomed empty. Aunt helped settle me on the couch, pain meds dulling edges. That boy's trouble, Alex. But you light up around him. She left pie, a peace offering. Door knocked. Jake, duffel slung, eyes determined. Not going home. Not yet. We crashed on the lumpy sectional. Bodies spooned careful around casts and bruises. His breath warm on my neck. We'll figure it, he murmured. Sleep came freighted with dreams. Old life's crash replaying, but now with Jake's hand pulling me free. School resumed a limbo. Crutches clicking halls like Morse code for a target. Teammates rallied. Sarah wheeling my books, Tim quizzing vocab. But undercurrents roiled. Brandon's crew lurked. Notes escalating. Fags caused the crash karma. Anonymous emails to coach. Harlan's distracted. Bench permanent. Jake, cleared light duty, shadowed me fierce. Arm linked, glares daring interference. Lunch became our fort, his tray mine, stories swapped low. Dad's cooling, sorta. Said if we keep it quiet. I stiffened. Quiet? After everything. His sigh heavy. Bridge not burn. For now. Practice adapted, me directing from sidelines, Jake subbing arguments with fire. Coach Ellis pulled us post-session. Proud of you too. But Whitaker's breathing down. Image concerns. Her eyes soft. Fight smart. Smart meant shadows. Kisses in empty stairwells, hands brushing in crowds. But love chafed leashed. Evenings at my place. Jake's study sleepovers. A fiction aunt tolerated with raised brows. We unraveled slow. Casts shed inhibitions. His fingers mapped my legs' new scars, lips following. Strong, he'd say, voice reverent. I'd trace his stitches, whispering, brave. Intimacy deepened, not carnal but soul-bearing. Confessions of fears, dreams woven into midnight tapestries. College together, he'd vow. NYU debate, you leading. I'd laugh. You throwing passes on Broadway. Hope flickered, fragile. Betrayal's second strike landed sly. Friday, assembly again, Whitaker touting tolerance weak. Irony thick as fog. Guest speaker. Some pastor from the local megachurch, droning on traditional values. Jake and I sat front, united front. Then Q&A, Brandon. Mic in hand, voice oily. What about protecting kids from influences? Like the debate stars pushing agendas. Gasps, Whitaker flushed. Jake surged up. Sling forgotten. That's us you're slandering. And it's bullshit. Agendas? Try truth. Chaos erupted. Claps from allies. Boos from shadows. Whitaker yanked the mic. Detention, Harlan. But the die cast. Us, exposed. Elmwood's fault lines quaking. Aftermath avalanche. Jake's dad stormed the office, demanding expulsion. For me. Ruining my boy. Aunt defended fierce. Lawyer threats flying. Teammates splintered. Sarah circulated petitions. Tim crunched discrimination stats for ammo. But Jake? He cracked private post-attention on my porch. Rain sheeting. Dad's cutting me off. No truck, no allowance. Says join the church youth or else. Tears mixed with downpour. I pulled him inside, towels and tea. Then we build our own. That night, bodies close, we planned escape. Part-time jobs, community college deferrals. Love forged in fire, resilient, raw. Climax crested weekend of state debate qualifiers. Toledo Arena, a coliseum of egos. Jake reinstated by coach's defiance. Can't bench talent. We took stage tandem. Topic: reforming institutional bias. Adrenaline surged. I opened raw. I've reincarnated metaphorically into a world that rejects difference. But allies? They redefine home. Jake sealed. Protection isn't policy. It's person. Like standing for the one who stands with you. Judges riveted. We clinched. Trophy gleaming under lights. Backstage roar, team hugs, Sarah whooping. But Joy Jared. Call from Aunt. Harlan seniors at the house. Bad. We raced back, crutches ditched but leg aching. Porch light blazed. His dad paced, face thunder. You think winning erases this? He's throwing his life. Jake stepped forward. No, Dad. You are with hate. Words escalated, voices cracking. I raised a man, not this. Dad jabbed at me. I flinched, but Jake shielded. Love him. That's the man you raised. Silence deafened. Dad's eyes, wet, flickered. You're killing your mother all over. Jake reeled. Mom would have loved him. Standoff shattered. Dad stormed to truck, tires spinning gravel. Jake collapsed against me, sobs racking. It's over. But in ruins, clarity, we'd survived the quake. Monday brought détente. Dad at breakfast table, awkward, coffee steaming. Talked to pastor. He's wrong. No apology, but a nod to Jake. Scholarship safe. If you graduate strong. We exhaled, cautious. School shifted tectonic. Whitaker's tolerance, now mandatory assemblies. Petitions gaining traction. Brandon expelled, final straw. Teammates solidified. Even quiet ones spoke up. Jake and I? Public now. Hands held in halls. Kisses stolen bold. Love bloomed unapologetic. A garden in cracked concrete. Yet humanism whispers. No easy triumphs. Spring thawed grudging. My leg mending slow. Jake's throws rusty from doubt. Evenings we'd walk tracks, fingers laced, futures sketched. NYU, he'd tease. Or Ohio State with visits. Laughter healed. Aunt softened. Baking for dinner dates. His dad? Dinners strained but present. Questions probing. Plans after. Progress inching. Reincarnation's arc bent toward light. Not erasure, but endurance. Graduation loomed like a horizon line, shimmering with promise and peril. Elmwood's cap and gown ritual of veil over its scars. Jake and I navigated the final stretch entwined. Prom tickets clutched, his tux rented, my suit borrowed from Tim's cousin. We'll dance like no one's watching, he said, practicing spins in my living room, Aunt clapping from the armchair. But eyes watched. Hallways less hostile, but slurs lingered in bathrooms, etched quieter now. Assembly follow-ups drilled inclusivity. Whitaker's posters peeling at edges, a metaphor for the town's reluctant thaw. We won states. Debate championship ring on my finger, Jake's name engraved beside. But victory tasted bittersweet, shadowed by what we'd buried. Prom night arrived humid. Fireflies winking in the rec center lot. Jake in navy, me in charcoal, we posed for Ant's camera, his arm around my waist proprietary. Handsome devil, he murmured, lips brushing my ear. Inside, balloons bobbed, bass thumped, Uptown Funk, a ironic anthem. We danced loose, his hand low on my back, bodies sinking effortless. Sarah twirled by with her date, winking. Tim awkward shuffled solo, grinning. No incidents, miracle or exhaustion. Under disco lights, Jake pulled me close during slow set, Ed Sheeran's photograph weaving spells. This is us, he whispered. Against the world. I melted, forehead to his. Forever. But forever's fragile. As confetti rained, Brandon's shadow loomed at the punch bowl. Uninvited? Eyes hateful, but he turned away, a ghost exorcised. After party at Sarah's, bonfire crackling, S-More's sticky. Talk turned dreams. NYU for you, Alex, journalism, exposing biases. Jake nudged. And me? State weekends in the city. Laughter, but undercurrent tugged. His dad's expectations, my aunt's practicality. Midnight, we slipped to the porch swing, stars pricking velvet sky. His head on my shoulder, voice soft, scared sometimes. What if it's not enough? I kissed his temple. It is. We are. Love's language now fluent, vulnerable, vast. Summer scorched in, jobs grinding. Me at the library shelving tomes of forgotten revolutions. Jake coaching Pee-wee camp, whistles shrill. Afternoons free for us. Lake swims, stolen, his body sun-kissed against mine in shallow waters. Drives in his reclaimed truck, radio blasting Springsteen anthems of blue-collar hearts. His dad evolved halting. Friday barbecues, gruff invites. Pass the ribs, Alex. No sun, but proximity. One night, beers cracked on the deck. He cleared throat. Saw your debate clip. Impressive. Jake's eyes widened. I nodded thanks. Bridges built plank by plank. Fall whispered change. Acceptances rolling in. NYU for me, full ride on merit. Ohio State for Jake, scholarship intact. Distance, 4 hours, navigable. But doubt nipped. What if we fade? Late night calls, his voice crackling. Won't. Promise. Packing boxes became rituals. His jerseys folded beside my notebooks. Lives merging. Aunt teared at goodbye brunch. Proud kid. Call often. Elmwood receded. A chapter closing jagged. Departure day dawned crisp. Leaves aflame. Jake's truck loaded. My aunt's sedan trailing to the city. Last stop, the tracks, our origin point. We stood railside, wind tousling curls. Reincarnated here, I said, half-joke. He grinned. Best plot twist. Kiss deep, sealing oaths. See you Thanksgiving. Engines hummed away, but hearts tethered. College blurred vibrant. NYU's bustle a whirlwind of lectures on ethics. Clubs for queer voices where I thrived. No hiding. Jake's texts daily. Miss your laugh. Game highlights attached. Visits bridged him in my dorm. Awkward twin bed squeezes. Me at state tailgates. Face paint smudged. Love matured. Roots deepening through storms. His freshman slump. My paper deadlines. A fight over distance. Mended in airport hugs. Sophomore spring, crisis crested. His dad diagnosed early pancreatic, treatments looming. Jake's call shattered. Coming home. Need you. I drove through night, arriving to hospital hush. Harlan Sr. frail in bed. Eyes meeting mine. Not flint, but fatigue. Alex. No more. Jake paced. I held him. Weeks blurred. Chemo runs. Diner shifts funding. Dad softened terminal. You too. Strong. Like your mom. Confession over Jell-O. Regrets. A youth quashed by town's grip. Don't repeat. Forgiveness flowed, humanistic balm. No fairy tale, but real. He passed midsummer. Quiet. Lakeside service. Jake's eulogy raw. He taught toughness. We taught love. Grief hollowed, but we filled it. Hands clasped graveside. Resolve steeled. Back to books, but changed. Jake transferring to NYU grad track, debate coach gig bridging. Our apartment, tiny, roach-prone, became hearth. Arguments over takeout, nights mapping futures. Years unspooled. Me authoring exposés on rural biases. His book on teamwork beyond the field, a quiet hit. Weddings came. Sarah's, Tim's. Ours understated. Central Park under rain-misted oaks. Vows echoing tracks promises. Protected you then, always. No kids, but mentorships. Sponsoring Elmwood scholarships for out kids. Visits home to Whitaker's Reformed assemblies. Reincarnation's echo, not curse, but canvas. Painted with conflict's grit, betrayal's sting, love's enduring stroke. Elmwood faded, but lessons etched. Protection starts within, allies amplify. Humanity triumphs messy. Jake's hand in mine at dawn coffees. Green eyes still lightning. Our story, I smile. Just beginning. And in America's vast weave, we thread on, unbroken, unbound.